The Rocky Report, brought to you by AMP, Avitas Group, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Montana, Bob Smith Motors, EBMS, First Interstate Bank, Montana Tobacco Quit Line at 1-800-QUIT-NOW, Northwestern Energy, Tiorama, Yellowstone Bank, and your local Ford store. And now, from Pizza Hut on 16th and Grand, your host, Bruce Parker.
Hi everybody and welcome to the Rocky Report. I'm Bruce Parker coming to you from Pizza Hut on 16th and Grand in Billings. Well, the nationally ranked Battling Bear teams continue to roll as volleyball wins a couple, men's soccer wins, and they stay very highly ranked in the national rankings. The football team, a long trip to Caldwell, Idaho, and men's and women's basketball also had great success. We're going to talk with Brian Armstrong, Laurie Kelly, and of course Bill Dreikosen. Stay with us. Interviews, highlights, and much more up next on the Rocky Report.
At Pizza Hut, we've got a carry-out deal just for you. Any pizza, any size, any crust, and any topping for just $10. You want a large hand-tossed pepperoni and mushroom? $10. Or maybe you're a large pan supreme kind of person. $10. Thinking about a combination of your own? Well, that's $10 too. That's any pizza, any size, any crust, and any topping for just $10. And get stuffed crust for just $2 more. This $10 carryout deal ends soon, so hurry to Pizza Hut today.
My name's Charlie and I've been rodeoing for about 12 years. You learn to love it and you grow up with it all the time, and you have to get hooked on a rodeo by somebody, and that's your family. When I lost my granddad, it was pretty rough. Everybody loved him so much, and if he didn't smoke, he'd probably still be here. Athletes try to stay in the best of shape as they can, and smoking's not going to get you there. So I decided to stand up and help the Montana rodeo that I love break away from tobacco.
Our physicians and athletic trainers have been building better athletes for over 20 years. We are the official sports medicine provider to the Billings Mustangs, MSUB Yellow Jackets, and Rocky Mountain College Battling Bears. AMP ensures that athletes of all ages and skill levels receive the training and medical care for top performance and to stay healthy. AMP, Athletic Medicine and Performance, powered by St. Vincent Healthcare, Ortho Montana, and Yellowstone Surgery Center.
The Battling Bear football team in Caldwell, Idaho for a big one with the College of Idaho. Let's take a look at our highlights.
The Bears take to the road and travel to Caldwell, Idaho for their matchup against the College of Idaho Yotes. First quarter, the Yotes get on the board first with Hartvig Bondo tacking on a 25-yard field goal. They would later score on a 20-yard end-around by Tyler Higbee, putting Idaho up on the Bears 10-0. The Bears offense would put a drive together, and Evan Connolly would put Rocky on the board with a 31-yard field goal. But the C of I would respond before the half as TJ Gordon would complete a 14-yard touchdown pass, extending the lead 17-3 going into the half. The Bears made some adjustments in the locker room, and Chase White would complete a 48-yard bomb to Andre McCullough to get the Bears into the red zone, with White scoring a quarterback sneak to narrow the score 17-10. After forcing a Yotes punt, Rocky would mount a 40-yard drive with Jade Olson driving his way in for a 6-yard touchdown to tie the score 17-all. But the momentum shift would end quickly on one play, as a poor snap by the Bears would be recovered by the C of I's Chris Waters on Rocky's 18-yard line. Gordon connected an 18-yard touchdown pass on the next play, giving the lead back to the Yotes. Rocky would drive to the Yotes' 30-yard line, but would be stopped on fourth down, turning the ball over. C of I would capitalize with a 21-yard touchdown grab by Marcus Lenhart, extending the lead 31-17. The Bears would be riddled with problems as Chase White would be intercepted by C of I's Ben Cesarelli, setting up the Yotes running back Kyle Merritt for a 21-yard touchdown run. Rocky would turn the ball over on 3 straight fourth quarter possessions, falling to the College of Idaho with a final score of 38-17.
And welcome back to the Rocky Report, joined now by head football coach Brian Armstrong, a tired Brian Armstrong after making the trip back from Caldwell, Idaho. A tough loss to the College of Idaho, Brian, and a football game that you played well at times, but you met up with a pretty good College of Idaho team.
Well, they are, and again, I think every week in the Frontier, with the exception of maybe one team, everybody's pretty even, and I think they were a pretty even team with us. We didn't start out fast, kind of got in a hole early. We moved the ball, but didn't score offensively and defensively. We struggled to stop them and kind of got ourselves in a hole and fought our way back into it in the third quarter and tied it up, and then a bad snap on a punt kind of broke the game open, and we weren't able to recover from there. And after that, we had a couple turnovers. So frustrating day kind of all the way around.
Yeah, long trip for you all the way to Caldwell, Idaho. Down 17-3 at halftime. What did you tell them at halftime? Because you came out red hot in that third quarter.
Well, we were just, honestly, I don't know how to describe it besides flat. We just didn't have much energy, didn't have much emotion. It was like we took a 10-hour bus trip. But kind of rallied them a little bit, and again, they responded, I thought, well, at halftime, and came out, and we were right in there until a couple of turnovers kind of broke it open.
This league just seems crazy. Like you have some very, very good teams that are 2-4 in the conference right now. Anybody can still win the league. I know Southern and Tech kind of have established themselves, but what do you do now to get your team to bounce back a little bit and get them ready for this weekend?
Well, that's the thing. It's not going to get any easier. There's not any time to feel sorry for yourself. We go back on the road to a, nationally ranked Western team who got a big win at Eastern last week on the road. So, there's no time to feel sorry for yourself. You got to regroup. You got to try to fix the problems and, go battle.
College of Idaho moved the ball very well offensively. I thought you ran the ball pretty well. Varner was close to 100 yards and Chase threw for over 300 yards. So you got some numbers there. We
moved the ball. Early in the game we didn't score as well, and late in the game we had a couple turnovers that were pretty painful times. But we got to find a way to stick it in the end zone. We got to find a way to get some stops, and we just like I said, a frustrating day kind of all the way around.
Now, before you get back on the bus, you got to recuperate from another long bus trip, but this one's not as long, this one coming up.
No, this is about a one movie trip, so it's not too bad.
I like how you put that in perspective. We'll come back and talk about that game against Montana Western in Dillon. That'll be coming up this Saturday, big game for the Battling Bears. We're going to take a break and come back. Stay with us.
As a driven business owner, you want to pursue your dream, not worry about administrative chores, employee benefits, and HR. With Avitas Group, you don't have to. We'll provide the solutions you need. Everything from payroll and taxes to online marketing and IT. For each and every operational need, Avitas Group has an entire team of diverse, specialized professionals. Follow your dream. Leave the logistics to us.
Wow, it's a 2014 Ford Escape. Very sharp. EcoBoost, huh? That MPG will save some money. How about capability? Intelligent four-wheel drive? Perfect for our weather. Back here, foot-activated liftgate. Oh, now that is smart. And now get up to $3,000 cash back on a new Escape with Sync and Sound. Or lease one for just $219 a month. It's the one for me. Reinvented for all, equipped for you, so you can go further. See your local Ford store today.
As the saying goes, it takes a village. But we think there's more to it than that. At First Interstate Bank, we've come to realize that sometimes all it takes is a single person. A smile, a handshake, a tip of the hat, and the knowledge that you can count on them to be by your side. That things are going to be done and done right. Being a part of our community, it's bigger than banking. It's you and I together.
Well, the Battling Bears will be back on the road this week as they travel down to Dillon to meet up with Montana Western. The Bulldogs, very good football team, nationally ranked this year, Brian, and you're playing against a good friend of yours who's coaching on the other side of the football field. And You played there, so this might have a little bit more meaning for you.
Well, I mean, they're a very good football team, and you put on top of that our worst performance offensively for sure came at the hands of them at home, our second game of the year. So, hopefully our kids are excited to go out and show that what the product we put on the field against them the first time was not indicative of who we really are. So, again, great test. Western is, probably the best defense, if not the best, it's the second best defense in the league. Offensively, they're a little young, especially quarterback, but they've continued to progress and get better, so it'll be a great test for our football team.
Yeah, in the first meeting, 7 turnovers in that one, and a lot of them were just caused by very good defensive play led by A.J. Wilson.
Yeah, well, when a single player on the defense scores more points than your offense, that's never a recipe for success. So we're going to have our hands full, going to have, a big challenge, but hopefully we're ready to meet that.
When you look at your football team, and we talked about this last week, you have played pretty well on the road, so that will be in your favor a little bit.
Yeah, hopefully we can get some guys. We have some nicks and bumps and bruises after that, and long bus ride home. Hopefully we can get their legs back under them and get them regrouped and go to Western and compete.
Yeah, about 4 or 4:30 when you got in on Sunday morning. What does that do? How much does that take out of a football team when you're on the bus that long for those trips?
Well, it's tough. There's no question. We broke it up. We stopped in Pocatello and practiced. But again, we were kind of in a hurry to get going, so we didn't spend as much time as we typically do. But, when you lose and you got the long bus ride home, that makes it doubly as long, it seems like. So, but again, we got to just, regroup and get back to work.
Anything in this Frontier that surprises you this year up to this point?
No, not really. I mean, I just think that it's just, you look at our remaining schedule, and we've got 3 nationally ranked teams left in our 4 games. So, There's no bye weeks, that's for sure.
You put yourself in a kind of a spoiler role now that you can maybe knock off some of these teams that are up near the top of the standings?
I don't know if I'd say spoiler. I mean, I know that, for all intents and purposes, playoffs are out of the picture for us now. But, there's still a lot of stuff to play for. Our seniors, you only guaranteed 11 opportunities, and we've got 4 left. And, we got to be prepared to make the most of each one of them.
Well, Brian, get some sleep. Get caught up on that a little bit, and good luck at Western this weekend.
Thank you.
Head coach Brian Armstrong of the Battling Bears will be against the Bulldogs in Dillon on Saturday at 1 o'clock. Stay with us. We're going to come back with more on the Rocky Report right after this.
And Cooper Tires are driving home the savings this fall. Now through October 31st, when you buy a set of 4 qualifying Cooper Tires at Tire-Rama, you'll get up to a $70 prepaid Visa card back by mail. Take the money and ride this fall with Tire-Rama and Cooper Tires, starting August 28th through the end of October. See your local Tire-Rama for details. Tire-Rama, more than just a tire store.
Picking up pieces of my life, sometimes there's ones I just can't find, but they found a home with you. And when I think about the things that we've been through, I know just one thing is true: life is better with you. Whoa, whoa, life is better with you.
My grandfather had a vision to build a car dealership way out in the west end of Billings on 24th and Central. All that was there was a Kmart, Sage Drive-In, and Stewart Barn, even before Rimrock Mall. Now Billings has grown up around us, and we're still here. The Lincoln brand was strong then, and it's stronger today than it's ever been. He was Bob Smith. We are Bob Smith. It's not just a name, It's a way of doing business.
Well, welcome back to the Rocky Report. The volleyball team continues to lead the league and dominate in the Frontier Conference with a big win over Carroll College on Saturday night after a win over MSU Northern at home on Thursday. Joining us now, head coach Laurie Kelly. And Laurie, a great weekend for you with a win at home and then, more importantly, an undefeated victory over Carroll College in Helena.
Yeah, well, we were down to, both of us hadn't lost a conference game, and so this was kind of a big game, and they were ready, and I read, of course, their stories, and this was a huge game for them. They had the gym full. They were, they were ready to play. They came off a nice win at Western the night before, so we knew we'd have our hands full.
When you look at a match like this, it's still in the first half of the Frontier Conference play, but it was fairly important in the standings and in the national rankings.
It is. Well, every game is important to us now because, we're the team to beat. So if they want to get into the top 25 and make that final surge into the top 25, they're going to have to beat us because we're the only chance they have now because we're the only ones in the top 25. So, day in and day out, they're going to try to beat us. And we have just really 4 great seniors that have great leadership out there and are not going to lose.
Now 7-0 in the Frontier Conference after going 14-0 last year. You have a nice streak going. You don't worry about streaks, I understand that. But this is a volleyball team that completely different from last year. You lost some great players, but you have student athletes like Aaliyah Billis and Mariah Stiffarm and Tori Birch and Brooke Myers. You just have some people stepping up.
Those 4 are just amazing, and I just looked at them last night in the bus ride home and just said, did you think you were going to be here after last year's? And I kind of did. And, you just look at the growth of all those players and the leadership roles they took last year. And this year they're right in there again. And our support personnel right with them are growing every game. We really haven't solidified a lineup. Every lineup's a little different and we throw kids in there. And so we're really excited about where we're going.
Now this will be a tough week. You have 3 matches. You play MSU Billings on Tuesday night over at Alterowitz Gym, and then you have Great Falls and Lewiston, Idaho, and Lewis Clark State. So tough matches. And is it tough when you play 3 matches in 1 week?
Not at this time of the year. We practice and we're over it. And we love to play games and. I think that we're cutting our practices a little shorter now. We're into the end of the season and just keeping us strong. But 3 games, we love matches, so I'm excited. The travel's tough, but it's tough on everybody.
How about a non-conference match right now? Is that good? Is it bad when you play MSU Billings? I know it's a rivalry game.
Hey, we don't have to travel. Anytime that you're in town and you get to play somebody and that are good quality, that's good. It keeps you sharp. Things don't show up in practice that show up in games, so in order to fix something we got to see it. So every time we play a game we go back to the drawing board and say, well, let's work on this, and if this situation occurs, let's try this. And we did a couple things last night different, so every game we get to see a little bit more.
21-4, 7-0 in league. What can this team do to get better?
Oh, there's quite a bit. Our blocking doesn't seem as good as it was in the beginning, but I care to think that maybe people are getting to hit better now. The hitting's better, therefore we look like our blocking's not as good. What we are doing well, and I'm proud of, is our serve receive, and our serving is really improved, and that very seldom does a team get an ace on us anymore, and that's what we're really striving for.
You'd kind of like to get that sweep over MSU Billings on Tuesday night, wouldn't you?
Pretty much. Yeah. It's always a great game for us and very fun to play.
And then the road trip.
Yeah.
So Lewiston, Idaho, not bad.
No, they're good.
Well, good luck. Great weekend last week, and good luck this week.
Thank you very much.
Head coach Laurie Kelly. Let's take a look now at our student athletes of the week. Rocky's nationally ranked teams are both represented in this week's Student Athletes of the Week honorees. For the second straight week in volleyball, it's senior outside hitter Aaliyah Billis. The 6'2" standout from Bozeman led the Battling Bears to another perfect week with wins over MSU Northern and Carroll. In the 3-1 road win over the Saints, the league's only other undefeated team, Billis had 18 kills and 25 digs. It was her 6th straight double-double and helped the 6th-ranked Bears to a 21-4 24 overall mark and a 7-0 Frontier Conference record. And on the soccer pitch, it's freshman forward Stephen Forbes. He had a pair of assists in the leading Rocky to a 4-0 victory over Eastern Oregon at Wendy's Field. The native of Balloch, Scotland, notched his 10th assist of the season in the 14th ranked Battling Bears victory that led their record to 13-1 overall and a league-leading 9-1 in the Cascade Conference. Congrats to Aaliyah Billis and Stephen Forbes.
Local businesses large and small are the cornerstone of Montana's communities. And at Stockman Bank, we're honored to help them grow and prosper. We serve our fellow businesses with respect, care, and a personal touch. We know a good lender is a flexible lender who treats business owners as individuals with unique needs and goals. In other words, we treat them the Montana way. It's the only way we know. Stockman Bank. Montana banking, pure and simple.
EBMS was founded in 1980 to ensure Montana companies could provide health benefits that were both beneficial and affordable. That vision hasn't changed, it's just grown. I joined EBMS more than 20 years ago, and I'm proud to have been part of this growth. Today, more than 300 team members join me at EBMS to offer on-site clinics, wellness, prescription programs, and a full array of benefit services. We've emerged as an industry leader and one of Montana's premier employers.
Join a dynamic organization that offers career growth, exceptional benefits, and support for community involvement. EBMS.
My name is Carson. Rodeo has become a very big part in my life. To win a rodeo, you've got to be really dedicated, so I have to stay in shape. I really like when you're getting done with a run, because sometimes you have the highs and your lows in rodeo, but when you do good, it's really a great feeling. Tobacco, in my opinion, doesn't belong in rodeo. I mean, you can look at all the statistics, and it's just been a damaging, destructive product. Tobacco doesn't take center stage, not in my rodeo.
Well, when we last talked, Bill Dreikosen was getting set for the 2015-16 basketball season. Now he's in it. A couple games under his belt and a couple victories. And Bill, back from the Craig Finberg Memorial Tournament where you got a couple impressive wins.
Yeah, it's always good to get started. You start to learn more things about your kids once they get put in positions in real game time, and you can't get in game shape until you actually play games.
You know, the tournament in honor of Craig Finberg, who was a former great player at Montana State, a coach in Dillon and at Montana Western, so kind of a sentimental thing for you. But you started off with Northwest Indian University, and it wasn't a very close ball game, but you got your feet wet a little bit.
Yeah, everybody got some playing time, and we got to see a lot of kids get out there, and so it was a good opportunity for us to get off to a good start right away. I mean, I thought we shared the ball well in that game. I think we had 29 or 28 assists, something like that. So kids were working hard to do the right things and play together.
Yeah, 102-53 win. This is a different basketball team you have. You lost some outstanding seniors, 4 seniors last year, 3 of them starters. And what did you think of your first efforts?
Yeah, I think guys are in new roles now, so it's just going to be a process. It's going to take us some time, and so it's good to get them out there, like I said, in the real game situations, to have to adjust to the new roles that they're going to be put in, whether you're up or down, and just be in game time situations.
And a couple guys in that front line, Rob Neebe, Ben Moorkirk, you're kind of leading the way for you. As seniors, what do you look for them to accomplish this year as being in their final year of collegiate basketball?
Yeah, again, I think, as we tell all our leaders, biggest thing is you need to take care of what you need to take care of, and then be there for the team, wherever you can, outside of your own personal things you need to do. And they're great leaders on and off the court. They're very good in the classroom, and they're guys with high character that we can really look up to, and we're proud of the direction they're heading in leadership for our program.
And then night number 2, you play a Lethbridge team that the night before had beaten Montana Western, one of the preseason favorites in the Frontier. Were you a little worried going into that one?
Well, I knew it was going to be a really good test. They play really hard, and they're very physical, and they push the ball, and they played a lot of zones, so it was a good test for our guys. And I really felt like in the second half we really put on a couple of spurts, and I was proud of our effort defensively as a team. We definitely grew from the first game to the second game, which is something you want to see.
Now, have you emphasized that a lot in the preseason, defense, playing good defense?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you don't set the foundation on defense, kids always want to play offense. They all want to score and do that, but you got to continue to emphasize defense. And I think this team can get to be a good
team defensive team. You know, individually we'll be okay, but team-wise, we've got to become a real good team defensive team.
And looking at the rebound stats, it looked like you rebounded the ball well both games.
Yeah, both teams weren't real big, and that's going to be a huge key for us. We got to find ways to rebound. You know, our guards are going to have to rebound because we're not an exceptionally big team. So.
Now this week you move on. You play a Yellowstone Christian University, a new team. You don't know much about them. You're going to play down at the Shrine Auditorium.
Yeah, Shrine Auditorium, so a lot of history there. And yeah, this is their first game ever. So we got to be ready to go. You know, I remember my first game ever, and Brad Hughes played me, and he said, I should have never scheduled you for your first game ever. You know, we ended up winning in the Fortin Center in a game he probably should have won. But yeah, so it'll be exciting. We're looking forward to that and getting better this week.
Is it good to have these preseason games, and what do you try to accomplish in the preseason?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's good to get your team out in different situations and playing against different styles, and again, see where you can improve and in what areas you need to stress as you move forward. Because we have conference games early this year. You know, first time in a long time we've had early season, you know, early December conference games. So we got to get prepared here in the next month for that first conference game.
Well, congrats on the start, 2-0 on the season, and good luck this week.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Head coach Bill Dreikosen. Let's go to our standings, both in the Frontier and the Cascade conferences.
Check it out, the 2014 Ford F-150. Looks great, but let's build one for me. I need a 4x4 with plenty of power, because back here I'll be pulling my boat. Add some chrome, 18s, ooh, some fog lamps, nice. The XLT 4x4. What's this? Just announced get over $10,000 in total value on F-150, or lease one for $259 a month? Now just gotta choose a color. Ooh, black. The XLT F-150. Better hurry, it all ends soon.
I'm Robbie Smith, and when you come to our dealership, you will see we all do business the Bob Smith way. We understand that in today's marketplace, you can buy online or pretty much any place to purchase your next vehicle. But at Bob Smith, we believe we can give you that next level of service, something beyond internet shopping. We provide you with the service, parts, and follow-up to make sure you're satisfied for the life of your vehicle. We are Bob Smith.
As the saying goes, it takes a village. But we think there's more to it than that. At First Interstate Bank, we've come to realize that sometimes all it takes is a single person. A smile, a handshake, a tip of the hat, and the knowledge that you can count on them to be by your side. That things are going to be done and done right. Being a part of our community, it's bigger than banking. It's you and I together.
Well, the Battling Bear football team will be in Dillon to battle Montana Western on Saturday. Volleyball will be at MSU Billings, at Great Falls, and at Lewiston, Idaho to battle Lewis Clark State, a very good volleyball team. Men's basketball will be across town at the Shrine Auditorium to battle Yellowstone Christian, and soccer will be in the Northwest for a couple big Cascade Conference games. Special thanks to Brian Armstrong, Laurie Kelly, and Bill Dreikosen. I'm Bruce Parker. We'll see you next week right here from Pizza Hut for the Rocky Report. We'll see you then.